Welcome, NASCAR fans, to Tim Reynolds Show's NASCAR Race Review. Make sure you hit that like button as I'm reviewing the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs Round of 8, the race at Homestead-Miami Speedway. The second race in the Round of 8 for the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs, and we would see the number 45 Toyota, driven by Tyler Reddick, get the pole in this one, beating out the number 5 Chevy, driven by Kyle Larson, and man, we would see in this race, the number 5 would have a lot of problems, unfortunately getting involved in two different cautions in this racetrack here, as Kyle Larson really had to scramble with the number 5 Chevy team for Hendrick Motorsports and really was able to get a fantastic finish with all things really happening to him, being involved in two cautions, one for a flat tire and the other one where he just gets spin out there at the end of the race, racing too hard and too fast, getting into a corner. And man, cautions would play a big part in this one, but we would see the number 45 Tyler Reddick would lead 98 laps in this one of the 267, but this race would come down to the very end after we would see the number 12 Ford, driven by Ryan Blaney, the defending series champion, and the number 11 Toyota, driven by Denny Hamlin. Both were able to have strong finishes in this one and were competing for the lead and for the win at the very end. And when we got a caution at the end of this race with about 9 laps to go, we would see a restart where Denny Hamlin would be in the lead, but it would not be long before the number 12 Ford, driven by Ryan Blaney for Penske Racing, the defending Series Cup champion, would pass by Denny Hamlin and get the lead. But on the last lap, after a big charge from the number 45 Toyota team, we see driver Tyler Reddick make a big move on Denny Hamlin early to get the second spot. But then on the final lap of this race, we would see Tyler Reddick somehow, some way get around Ryan Blaney and the number 12 Ford on the last lap in the last corner and pass by him to get the victory at Homestead-Miami Speedway, as the regular season champion Tyler Reddick gets the victory and now punches his ticket into the championship 4, where in 2 weeks at Arizona he will be contending for the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series Championship. Wow, what a move and what a race here from Miami Homestead Speedway there. A awesome finish where Tyler Reddick was able to somehow, some way, push his car to the limit and ride the wall on the outside, heading into turn 3, and coming out of turn 4, he would get the lead over Ryan Blaney and get the victory. And heartbreak for the number 12 team, the Ford Racing team for Penske Racing. Man, what a tough break there for Ryan Blaney, who goes from possibly winning this race to now being below the cut line as we head into Martinsville next week, the last race in the round of 8 before we get to the championship 4 race at Arizona at Phoenix Speedway in a couple of weeks. Wow, what a race here, guys. And we'll get you guys some more news and notes from this race here, as we had a fantastic finish. And hey, we know Michael Jordan is one of the owners for 2311 there, who Tyler Reddick races for in the number 45 Toyota. And now Michael Jordan will have a chance to compete for his first NASCAR championship at Phoenix, where he's already won an NBA title as a player. So now he'll return to Phoenix in a couple of weeks to contend for a NASCAR championship with his driver Tyler Reddick getting the victory here, leading 97 laps in this one. And we see 33 lead changes in this race at Homestead-Miami Speedway, a track record for that. And man, what a tough break for Denny Hamlin in this one, who raced very, very well, but was not able to get a top 2 or get the victory in this one to help him really get into that championship 4 spot. And now we're going to see a lot of drivers next week at Martinsville Speedway be racing for their championship lives, as that is the last race in the round of 8 for the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. And now going over some more news and notes here from this race here. Like I said, a lot of guys were involved in some particular sort of competitive lead of this race, as it was, as we've seen a lot of the Cup Series drivers, playoff drivers in the round of 8. All 8 of them really played a role in this particular racetrack. The only one was the number 22 Ford, driven by Joey Logano, finished 28th in this race, so not a very good finish for him. But Joey Logano has already punched his ticket into the championship 4 and will be racing for a championship at Phoenix. And guys, going around for the top 10 here in this finish here, we see Ryan Blaney, the number 12 Ford, gets the second place finish behind Tyler Reddick, who wins the race. Denny Hamlin ends up finishing third in his 11 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, and Chase Elliott also finishes 5th, the number 9 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports, and Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin's teammate, finishes up to round out the top 5 as he gets the 4th place finish there. The number 20 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing led 3 laps in this one and had a chance to compete, but really a top 5 finish was solid for them. And we also seen Chase Elliott. He led 81 laps in this one to really help himself out, getting a top 5 finish here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. But man, Ryan Blaney, tough break for him as he led 47 laps in this race, but was not able to close it out at the very end after Tyler Reddick passes him on the last lap. We see to round out the top 10, William Byron, the number 24 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports, finishes 6th, and he's doing very, very well in the standings right now. Alex Bowman, the other Hendrick Motorsports Chevy, the number 48, finishes 7th. AJ Allmendinger in the number 16 Chevy finishes 8th. And Carson Hocevar gets a top 10 finish here, the rookie in the number 77 Chevy. And Ryan Preece rounds out the top 10 as the number 41 Ford gets the 10th place finish here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And then guys, for the playoff standings here as we head into the last race at Martinsville in the round of 8, we see Tyler Reddick and Joey Logano at the top of the point standing board with their wins. That now means that both of them will race for a championship at Phoenix. And guys, in 3rd place is Christopher Bell in the number 20 Toyota as he has plus 29 points above the cut line here and 3rd place in the standings. And at 4th place, we have the number 24 Chevy driven by William Byron for Hendrick Motorsports. It is only 7 plus points above the cut line. And now we'll have to see if both of these drivers can really race well next week to keep their spots in the championship 4. And if any one of these playoff drivers can get a victory, they will punch their ticket at Phoenix, but that'll leave one spot open depending on who wins next week, which means there's going to be a lot of these guys left in the playoffs here in the round of 8. These 8 drivers are going to be racing their tails off next week. And we see just below the cut line, the first driver there who is 7 points to the negative behind William Byron is his teammate, the number 5 Chevy driven by Kyle Larson, after a tough day here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, getting involved in 2 cautions with the pit crew really having to help out Kyle Larson, and Larson racing his tail off. He's the first driver below the cut line heading into their last race of the round of 8. And just below him is Denny Hamlin in the number 11 Toyota. Man, tough break for him as he had a chance to win this race, but ends up finishing 3rd here, and he is now 18 points below the cut line in 6th place. And in 7th place is the reigning defending Cup Series champion Ryan Blaney and his number 12 Ford for Penske Racing, as they are negative 38 points below the cut line. And Chase Elliott, one of my favorite drivers on the circuit and on the NASCAR Cup Series circuit, he is now 43 points below the cut line in last place of the 8 playoff drivers that are left standing, which means Chase Elliott will more than likely have to win next week if he wants a chance to advance, as he's that far back in points along with Ryan Blaney, the number 12. So look out for both of these guys, the number 9 Chevy and Chase Elliott and the number 12 Ford and Ryan Blaney, to really go all out next week, as they probably won't be able to make it into the round of 4, or the championship 4 I should say, out of the round of 8 on points alone. So which means next week's race is going to be very, very very, very important to the 2024 Cup Series playoffs. Thank you guys. This has been Tim Reynolds Show's NASCAR Race Review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, and check out Tim Reynolds Show for more NASCAR race reviews, WWE show reviews, and college football and NFL football news and video reviews right here on this sports entertainment channel, Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that like button, leave some comments of what you think of the NASCAR season thus far, who your favorite driver is, and who you think is going to win the championship in 2024 in the NASCAR Cup Series. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that like button, and peace out from Tim Reynolds Show.